activities for all ages, tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
Alrighty, a very good evening to all of you, my dear friends out there and relatives, and those of you who were waiting for us. You know, it's crazy. It's unbelievable to think that we are right a few days away from the end of the year. You know, it seems like we just started to talk about the vision that I had and the fasting and how beautiful it is to fast and all of that. You know, I mean, it seems like it was just a few days ago. You know, but it's almost a year. It's crazy. It's something else. It is telling me that the time is really accelerated.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really going very fast, and I'm wondering if persons would have who set their goals to do all these things for the year, if they ever got started, some of them. You know? and those who started, have they achieved any of the objectives that were set? It's crazy. I mean, I've never seen a year go so quickly.
What about the creatures? What about nature? Do you think they are conscious of being? Really?
Are the creatures conscious of time?
Yeah, as if going fast.
I don't know if they are.
But they are in time and they're out of time.
I don't know if they are conscious of it, but they know that something is happening. The creatures are they're very in tune with nature, so they know that something is speeding up.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think the humans realize that that something is happening. Many of the humans, you know. But I wrote some notes down. I made some jottings, and I wanted to share some of these jottings with my audience, wherever they are, because they're all over the world. People call me from all over and say, "Doc, you're on. We know you're on, and we saw you last night from New York, from wherever." So once it's streaming, there are people who tune in, you know. But I wanted to mention a few things because in my year, and I don't want to say years because there's many years, I have noticed a lot of things which blew my mind. Many things blew my mind. And sometimes I wondered if persons were aware of what was happening to their bodies. You know, I don't think some people are really conscious of what goes on with their body system. I don't even think some people are concerned about it because it's so automatic. You know, they go to sleep, they wake up, they go to work, whatever it is, that they don't pay attention to things. So I wanted to mention a few things regarding the human side and what we should consider, you know. Pay close attention to changes in your body function. Many times we ignore things that happen to our bodies, even though it's not the normal thing that we are accustomed to having happen. You know, we may feel an ache someplace and we just dismiss it. We may get a stinging somewhere and we just dismiss it. We may feel a shocking sensation somewhere and we dismiss it. You know, but those changes that are occurring in your body system are like signals that are coming through your central, coming from your central nervous system to notify you that I am having an issue. Check it. You know? Because what happens, which I've seen so many times, is that when you really get to the point where something went wrong in the end, and you screen people, and you look back at the symptoms that were pointing you to a particular issue that you ignored. You feel them, you felt them, you knew that something was happening, but you didn't pay attention to it. You know, so you need to pay close attention to the changes that the body goes through that indicates to you that I am having an issue.
Yes.
Pay close attention. Your breast, your breast you may feel tingling sensations in your breast. You may feel a lump somewhere and you may think it's just a lump. You may have a little discharge coming out and you may say, maybe I'm having an ovulation or something. Pay close attention to those changes because those are sometimes issues that are sending a signal to you that you need to have yourself examined. Urine, sometimes your urine may come out very strong. It may begin to have an odor. It may start to burn you. You may have restriction in urination, and you think, maybe it's just another something. Maybe something I did yesterday that caused it. When you have these things happening to you, pay close attention and tune in. Tune in, and if it continues to happen, check it. Sometimes people ignore the bowel system. The bowels, you don't go to the toilet for 1 week. And you say, maybe it's just some changes that my bowel is going through, or maybe something I ate, whatever it is. Those are signals, especially your bowels. If you're eating every day, and you're not going for a whole week, or 3 or 4 days, check it, because you're supposed to go every day. It is normal to go every day, sometimes twice a day, depending on how you eat. So if you're not going for 3 to 4 days, what is happening inside? You're reabsorbing toxic matter that you should be excreting. You end up having matter become firm in your intestine. That it's happening because it's not coming out, and then you become constipated and impacted, and you can't have emotion. And then you begin to have offensive odors that are coming out of you, and then your perspiration starts to smell bad, and you're wondering, why is all of this happening to me? Then your breath begins to smell bad, and you're saying, can't be, man, it's just something I ate. Check those things. Headaches. It is not normal to have a headache, a simple headache. If I don't have headaches. If I get a headache, believe you me, I'm thinking why? Because I don't get headaches. I'm not supposed to get a headache. So if I get one, I'm saying to myself, what's going on here? Do I need more water? Is it something that I ate? Is it some MSG in a cube that I ate? Or somebody put algae in the food? Or, I'm checking because it's not normal for me to have a headache. It's not normal for you to have a headache. Some people have headaches every day and they think it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. So you pay attention to the changes and the signals that the body is emanating. It's letting you know that look, check yourself. The Christmas holiday is coming up, and a lot of people are going to eat out of sync.
Yes.
They're going to eat all sorts of things that they're not supposed to. Some people wouldn't make it through Christmas. Unfortunately, some would not make it. Why? Because they have conditions that they should not be eating certain things or drinking certain things, and they go and they do it, and then they end up having a problem, and then there it goes. Some people are going to drink too much and end up on the roadways driving under the influence of alcohol. I think alcohol should become a substance like marijuana. If you can do things to people with marijuana, who use marijuana, then you should do the same thing to the people who use alcohol. You know, because alcohol can ruin a family. You know, alcohol can destroy lives crazily. Innocent people can be killed because someone is under the influence of alcohol, excessive alcohol. So I put alcohol in the same category as a drug because it alters your brain function. You're not the same person anymore. You know. So please be moderate. Please be considerate. And please think that after Christmas there is still life ahead of you. You know, Christmas is not the end, right? It's not the end. It's the beginning. It's time for newness. It's time for change. It's time for you know, for recollection and reformation. You know, so don't look at Christmas as a big time, a time to celebrate big. You know, it's not, in my opinion. Look, this is my opinions, right? It's not, okay? All right, now, moving on to something else. Get involved. I'm talking about the youths now. This is the youth side. That first one was any side. Now I'm talking about the youths. Even the elderly, even the ones that are beyond the youths, right? Get involved in sports.
Yes.
Get involved in sports. You know, sports can change your life forever for good. Get involved in sports. Learning to play anything, football, baseball, learn to swim, learn to run, jump, you know. Listen, there are many persons whose futures are they're stagnated and they're missing their calling, if we can say that, because they need to be a sports person. And they're neglecting the fact that this is the calling because they're involved in other things. They're being distracted by other means, right? Swimming, running, simple running. A simple thing like running can turn you into a billionaire. You know, a simple thing like running can put you in the map, can put your country on top of the world. A simple thing like running can change your life forever and change your country's life forever. Swimming can do the same thing. You know? Lawn tennis can do the same thing. I don't understand why we not boxing can do the same thing. You know, I used to be a boxer. Many persons don't know, they're learning that today. I used to be a boxer and I was just talking with the taxi driver, you know? And I'm not afraid and ashamed to say it. I used to box and I took my boxing from Guyana to the US, to the Philippines, to Japan, to Australia, and I became the middleweight champion for 3 years. You know? And I was given privileges that I never had. Just because I beat up some guys and I became the middleweight champion. You know? Listen, sports can make you become somebody that people will want to be like. Drinking isn't going to be one of those. Smoking isn't going to be one of those. Laziness isn't going to become one of those. You know? The youths of today, the government of today, the society of today, the parent of today should be thinking, let me make sure that my child is not one to be a hero in sports. I want to expose you to cricket, to football, to boxing, to table tennis, to lawn tennis, to make sure that your calling is not one of these. Because any one of those could change your life for good forever. I'm telling you. Right? Learn to play an instrument. Learn to play an instrument. An instrument played professionally can change your life for good forever. An instrument, a simple instrument like a flute or a trumpet or a clarinet, a simple mouth organ can make you become a hero. A simple mouth organ. A simple guitar. You know, like Santana and Benson and all those guys. When they play the guitar, your skin grows. Why can't we produce some of those right here? We're wasting our lives playing cards, dominoes, drinking alcohol, smoking marijuana and dope. You know, wasting our lives doing nothing. I don't understand where the guidance is. I don't understand where the focus is. I don't understand where the not only of the youths themselves, because in the younger years they need to be guided. So who guides them? You know, as they come up, the elders need to guide them. As they come up, the government can chip in and create avenues that can help people to become what they need to become. Many of us miss our calling because we just lay back. A simple instrument can make you a hero. Simple instrument, you know. Learn to make friends instead of enemies. Learn to make friends. You know, if you learn to make friends, if you see someone and you befriend them, they're not going to want to hurt you hardly. You know, many persons walk the streets looking as if they hate the whole world. Their faces like Tarzan, not even like Tarzan. Their faces like, I don't know what to say. You know, like a chimpanzee. Even chimpanzees smile. Some people walk the streets and they look so ugly because their faces are so mad. They look like they're crazy. Make friends. Put a smile on your face. Cheer yourself up. You know, you're walking like if you're carrying a world on your shoulder. If you had some of my baggage to carry, because I have to carry a lot of bags. You know, everyone that come to see me have to carry their bag because they look to me to help them to get better, and I have to carry the. I have to nurture them basically back to their healthy state. You know, and it's y'all don't want some of my baggage I gotta carry. I mean, I'm not saying it in the wrong way, not in the derogatory way, but some of you walk as if you're carrying baggages of all sorts. Make friends. Don't make enemies. You never know. You never know in the end where you're going to end up. The same person you make an enemy, you may have to end up in front of that person for some reason. And woe be unto you. Woe be unto you. Don't make enemies. Make friends. Make friends. This one is going to hit you hard. Practice more reading. Read more. Reading is spare time. Read stories. Read wisdom. Read intelligence. Read. Some of you live in your phones all day long. And what you doing? Playing games, doing nonsense. Read more. Read. Write poems. If you read, you will become wise. More wisdom. If you read, you're going to eventually learn to write.
Yeah, that's right.
You will.
Yeah.
Then you're going to start writing plays. You're going to start writing stories. You're going to start writing movies. Read. Learn to read. Read more. Some of you can't even spell your own name. Read more. I hope the audience is not any of those. Spend some more time with your God. And let me make this clear. Not the car that's your God. Not the shoe that's your God. Not the wig that's your God. Not the earring or the band that's your God. The Creator I'm talking about. Spend more time with the Creator. Many of you don't even know what a Bible is. Don't even know what a Quran is. You know? You don't know that. Spend more time with your God. Now this one here is going to be a bad one for some men.
Bring it on. Come on.
Learn to cook and clean
What?
properly.
No, that's bad. You should learn since you were born with it.
Learn to cook and clean properly.
Come on now. You never go hungry after that.
You can never be hungry. No, as a man, no woman can make you a fool in the
That's
kitchen.
right. Come on.
As a woman, nobody can fool you with the food.
All right.
Learn to cook and clean properly. Some women can't even clean a house properly. Some men don't even do nothing with cleaning. Expect the woman to do all of it. Parents, teach your children early
Small,
to cook and clean
it's short, just short.
thoroughly, properly. All of my children, I taught them that from very small. To cook and clean. No, I tell them, I says, listen, I ain't want no woman make rings around you.
Word, come on.
Because I ain't gonna let none make rings around me. And I don't want none to make rings around you. Learn to cook, learn to clean, press your clothes, make your bed.
You got line in it?
Many persons get out of their beds and don't even make them up till they're ready to go back. So they don't even make them up when they get ready to go back inside. I've seen that. You don't want to visit their homes in some people. You don't.
I'm not going to
They walk out of the house and leave it just as they get out of the bed. I don't understand that.
and see what does under there.
Oh, some people sweep the dust under the bed. Learn to do those things that will invite the angels to come in and watch over you. You don't know which angel visits your house when you're going to work.
All right, I said straight with
You know? You're praying for all kind of things to come, and when you come out your house, it's in a shamble. It's like a junkyard. And you expect angels to go in there and bless you?
No.
When you get out of your bed, make sure you dust it out and air it out because you shed skin during the night.
That's right.
And make it up before you leave the house. Make it up. Learn to become more creative instead of being a copycat.
Ooh, original. Come on.
Some of you copy from everything. You start copying since you're in school. And you can't stop copying. Your neighbor do this, you gotta copy and do it. This person starts selling shoes, you gotta sell shoes. They're selling food, you gotta sell food. Become creative. Don't fight for the same dollar. Become creative.
Yes.
Your neighbor making roti, you make curry.
Oh, word, come on now. Compliment.
When somebody buy roti, then come by you and buy curry.
Compliment. Yeah.
Just an example. Everybody in business. Everybody making a dollar. You're fighting for the same dollar because your neighbor making roti and you making curry.
All right.
Don't make roti like your neighbor because now you're fighting for the same roti dollar.
It's limited.
We have to become more creative. Guyanese have lost the creativity.
Sad.
I say it, Guyanese
Sad.
have lost the creativity.
Sad.
I ain't saying Linden or Georgetown.
Yeah.
Guyanese.
In general, right?
We lost the sense of creativity. We don't create nothing anymore.
That's sad.
We don't invent nothing anymore. The same old music that have been played 20, 40 years ago, we playing it now. Same thing playing now. Guyanese copy other people's music. We like to play other people's thing.
That's so true. Y'all be Jamaicans again.
Be creative and create your own. You know? Because the man selling clothes over there and people rushing in, you going to bring clothes and sell it too. The man selling clothes and then rushing in, bring shoes. Because when they finish buying the clothes, they got to buy a shoe. Become creative and think. Don't be copycats.
Right.
I'll tell you a quick one, and I can say it on the air here. We normally have our Christmas tree lights up every year
Okay.
at a certain time. So what happened is that others who saw what happens at the Christmas tree light up decided they're going to have the Christmas tree light up too. So I noticed it happened last year, because this is our 4th year now we're going to have it. And I said, you know something, let me keep an eye on this thing. When we had the Christmas tree light up, they had theirs the same day. So this year, I announced it for one day, the 5th of December, because I said we're going to do it early to avoid that, right? Guess what? They announced it for the 5th of December.
Copycat.
So quietly, we decided we're going to change it to the other week. The 7th, not the 5th, the 7th. We said we're going to change it to the 14th. You know they postponed theirs and have it now for the 14th.
Copycat?
This is the mentality of the people that I don't understand. You know,
Hiding in your shadow.
why are you robbing the people the benefit of having the pleasure of coming at different times to benefit from what you're going to give them, if you're going to give them anything?
Right.
If somebody's going to have it on the 1st, you have it on the 7th. And then you have it on the 14th. That way the people could benefit from all. They're not thinking. They just want to copy.
Right.
They want to benefit from you
As a rivalry.
and create some sort of a rivalry.
That's it.
You know, but listen, God doesn't sleep. He knows your heart. God knows your heart. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to create a scenario where you yourself are going to stop doing it. I don't understand the mentality of Guyanese. Oh, you know, we have fallen lazy. We become lazy. We don't want to use our intelligence. If you have it on the first, the people will benefit from yours. If you have another one on the 7th, they'll benefit from that. You have one on the 14th, they'll benefit from that. That's how you think. Don't all want to do it on the same night. How are they going to benefit from that?
All right.
Come on, copycats. Start using your God-given brains and think out of the box. You think it too much in the box.
That's good.
Dress for occasions.
Appropriate occasion.
Waiting on some water. Dress for the occasions so that you can be recognized and be respected. Some of you, you go to work and you're dressing like if you're going to a party. Some of you going to an interview and you're dressing as if you're going to sell something in a supermarket. Dress for the occasion. If you're going to work, you dress to go to work. If you go into an interview, you dress properly because let me tell you something. People assess you based on how they see you. They assess you based on how they see you. They put you in a category because of how they see you. Dress for success. There's a book that is entitled, the title of the book is Dress for Success. Buy it and read it. Learn to dress. In this society, we dress to give ourselves away. You know? I look at how the girls dress. They dress to give themselves away. You're dressing and you're sending a message. People judge you from the way you dress. Don't send the wrong message because you don't know who's looking at you and who's assessing you. Dress appropriately for the reason intended. That is the reason why we're having so much of the wrong things happening because, especially with the women, you're dressing to send the wrong message. The other thing is, we've gotten to the point now in our communications with our skills where we break everything down. We don't communicate normal anymore. Everything is hyphenated. You know? Thank you. Thank you. Everything is a small something. There's no more proper language. And that creates a problem. Why? Because if you do it long enough, it's going to become a part of you. Thank you. Communicate using language that is correct.
Yes.
Don't send me no wrong words in your communication to me because I'm going to correct you.
All right.
I'm going to respond to you the correct way. You know, there are words that we use that we hyphenate it, we break it down, yes, but we have reasons and there are times when you do it. But when you're going to communicate on your phone using language that is not designated, it's not right, it's not correct. You're sending a wrong message. You're sending another message. Either you can't spell or something wrong with you. I know the times have changed, and communication now is all sorts of things. You know, but unless you're communicating in code, spell the words out. Spell it out. Because eventually you're going to be stuck with that. You can't spell the right word no more. Or you can't spell the word right no more. We've gone to the point where we're doing all sorts of crazy things. You know? Use the correct grammar. And I got my friend here, my math friend, who's the linguist and English teacher and all that. You know? I got my friend here, and I know he wants to come on, and then we're going to talk a little bit and take some calls. So my operator will take a quick break, and then when I come back, I'll have my buddy with me. Since it's the last, it might be my last program for the year. Might be, maybe I might be here next week. Not certain yet because of some duties, other duties. Yeah. I might not be here for the next program, but we're going to have programs. We have lots of good things to show you. Don't stop looking. I'm asking you not to stop because we've got some things that are programmed to continue to show. You know, for you to be able to be edified and have your questions answered, and you can learn a lot. You know, you can always learn something new. So my operator will take a quick break, and then my operator will come and set things up so we could, you know, we will be able to have my buddy on here. So stay tuned.
Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
All right, you know this familiar face here. So we started the year out together, and I said we're gonna end the year on a good note together.
Yes, for a new beginning.
Right. So welcome to our program, Dr. Yates, and
Al Shalamti. Al
we're happy to have you. You've been missing in action for a while,
Yeah, that's true.
and I know you want to say some things, and then we're going to take a few calls. We won't
Wonderful.
take many, but we're going to take a few after you're done
Sure.
to see how we could maybe answer a few questions. So do your thing.
Well, first of all, I say greetings to the folks out there on, I would say, health land. Let's see even time. Oh, see that? Wow.
I'm watching.
Yes, you are. Observant, there you go.
I'm looking.
All right. Al Shalamti to the folks. I am so full of courage listening to you this evening. And those things that you were mentioning are so appropriate, especially when you start off about the body. You know, we've got to take care of the body. Folks, it is written, forget you not that your body is the temple of the Creator. And if we or you tamper or defile, says the scripture, the body, there is a reward for you defiling or polluting or adulterating the body. Guess what a reward is, according to what's written in scripture? It says the Creator, not me, the Creator will destroy you or me if we defile this temple. And that's a serious, serious statement. And we're wondering why all these different sicknesses you hear popping up.
Mm-hmm.
Consequences, they call it. Well, it is written to be what? Fulfilled. The body is a temple of the Creator, and this is so, they call it sacred or sacred. I look at it as, let me give you an example. Since I was a boy, at the age of 9, going on to 10, they call 10, I made a covenant, not a covenant, a covenant with the Creator that I would not drink alcohol. And I was only 9. But here's the reason why I made that covenant with the Creator. Because I grew up in Plaisance, and I call it Plaisance because I've had the privilege of growing up in Plaisance and Sparendam, so I combine both together. That's why I say Plaisance. And residing in Sparendam, I had some friends who live across the street from me in Plaisance, and their father was an alcoholic. And I remember his name was Mr. Harry. Mr. Harry couldn't pass ballroom shop. And he would go in there, get drunk, spend out his salary on his friends, and then go home and have no money for his wife and children, and then take it out on the wife and
That
children.
happening today still. It happens today. Many women get nothing from some men doing the same thing. They go to work or they go in the bush or wherever they go, they come home, and there's no money to do anything.
Wow.
It's happening today still.
And I'm talking about the 1960s.
Still happening today.
So at the age, a very young age, when these, first of all, the boys were my friends, we all would play. But when the father would physically abuse them, they couldn't come out for sometimes weeks because of the bruises on them. And I felt their pain as a boy. And I made a covenant with the Creator that I would never drink alcohol because of what the father was doing to these boys.
Mhm.
And you know, I kept that covenant with the Creator. I've never drank alcohol in my life. I've never smoked any cigarette in my life. As a matter of fact, at a very young age, I stopped chewing gum.
It sends the wrong
It
message.
sends the rump to the stomach, right? And that's what we got ulcers.
All sorts of
Yes,
ulcers and
ulcers, yes,
acids and
yes,
all sorts
exactly.
of things. Gastritis and everything.
Mhm.
Chewing gum.
And if it weren't for Only Walker, Ramesh Singh, and Eugene Williams, 3 young boys, these were boys going to school, came to Plaisance and started a church. If it weren't for those young boys, then I wouldn't be here testifying to you that the Creator sent them in the village to minister to me and many other young people to be part of a living organism, they call organization, of teaching us young people how to avoid defiling the temple, the body. Listen, at the age of 13,
Hold it thought. I want to ask the callers to hold their calls for maybe 10 more minutes.
okay, at the age of 13, I made a commitment that I'm going to livicate, I'm not dedicate, livicate my temple, this body here, unto the Creator. You know, like how they have it in the Catholic Church when the young guys go there to become priests and stuff, and the young ladies become nuns? Well, I was livicating my life to the teachings of Christ that I learned of in the Bible. At a very young age, at the age you ask the folk in Plaisance, they'll tell you. There is no one in Plaisance will tell you any evil or bad thing about Dr. Yates. You know why? Because for those who knew me by a sense of kinao, they can tell you I was known as the child preacher in the village. But the point I'm establishing here is I'm thankful to 3 young boys from All Boys Town. O'Neill Walker, Eugene Williams, and Ramesh Singh. They came to Plaisance and make a big difference in the village because they started what we call Young People's Church. Prior to them, all we have is Old People Church. We used to call it Graveyard Church because most of the church come with a graveyard. And the graveyard, the members are dead. They were more than the ones who were living going into the church. So these young guys came, like Shadrach, Meshach, and the bad Negro, came to the village and started a movement. This is in the 60s. Now, I learned from these three young men how to read and study the Bible and fast and pray. And I learned that this body here is a temple of the Creator. Until at the age of 8, I was still a virgin. Not just a virgin, but an original proud. You know why? Because when I read the scriptures and I learned that the more I stay away from sexual promiscuities, is the healthier I would be, and I'll look better than those young people when I was going to school students involved in sex. I used to warn them. I said, y'all are indulging in something before your time. The body's a temple of the Creator. You're not prepared for that as yet. I used to warn them.
That's happening all in the schools today.
I warn them. I tell them they can get old. They can look old before their time. And they can mash up. You know, the beautiful thing about it is that I kept my covenant with the Creator. Even at the age of 8, they call 28, is when I was still what they would call, you know, they call being a virgin is someone who don't have sex. Well, it's more to than that. It's not just having the sex, but it's not allowing the junk in my body. I was a virtuous body. You see, you can eat bad foods and violate your virginity. Yeah, because the whole body is pure. You think it's just having sex alone makes you not a virgin? Think about that one. All this belongs to the Creator. And when you eat right and you think right, then you're virtuous. You know, there's a scripture that says, who can find a virtuous what? Woman. It isn't only a girl. Even a woman can be a virgin.
They have a few.
Yeah. And you know, let me say this real quick before you get to call us. Living in Ethiopia, traveling from the western part of the world, which is the Americas and Europe, and going to a sacred land like Habesha, Ethiopia, and learning of the culture of the people, I am so honored and highly favored by the Creator to be given the opportunity to have gone to Ethiopia and learn among a people who were never colonized, meaning they don't think like the Europeans. They think like their ancestors prior to even before the Bible was written. That's why Ethiopia is the first country mentioned in the Bible in the creation story. Not Jerusalem, not Israel, none of those places. Ethiopia, Cush. I learned there the original meaning of virginity or virtuousness. I learned in Ethiopia that every female, listen to this carefully, folks, who goes through the menstrual cycle, at the end of it, you're a virgin. Now think about that. Look how wonderful the Creator is, huh? Listen to this carefully, folks. Some of you think, oh, you know, virgin. Listen to me carefully. The reason why the Creator gives you a cycle is purification. It's to make you pure.
Make you renew.
Renewed. You see that? And it makes sense. But the West now, the Europeans now, tell us a different story what virgin is. But when I was in Ethiopia, I'm learning in Africa that virginity and virtuousness has to do with you being renewed in cells. You get it? In energy, in strength, and stop eating junk and start eating the right food. And that's what they call birth again, and not born again. Birth again. The reason why the Creator gave you, sisters, the opportunity of going through your cycle. The purpose of your cycle is to become pure. So right after the ending of your cycle, you are a virgin. That's what the scripture says. Who can find a virtuous woman? And that woman had a husband and children, and yet she was called virtuous. Wow. Now, I love that. And let me share this with the men.
You made a lot of women happy tonight.
I hope so. Let me say this to the men. You can only be a virgin because of a virtuous woman. You heard me on that one? Think about that one. Ponder on that one. A man is only a virgin because of the virtuous female he is with. We don't go through the cycles like the female. But once we bond with that virtuous woman, she's the one who sanctify us and virtufy us because we're bonding with her. But once you break that bond with her and go out there and whoring, you lost it.
Okay, should we
Okay.
take the calls?
Yes, please do.
Oops, we lost it.
No, serious, think about it, folks. What we need to do is, I like the scripture says, let your mind be renewed in Christ. All things are passed away, and behold, all things become new.
Good evening.
Yes, brother, how are you?
Well, I haven't heard his voice in about 6 months.
But I say, forsaken me like Christ on the cross.
No. I see you gone to England.
No. Let me tell you something, brother. It don't got no country in this world, in this whole universe, as blessed as the one that we are in at the moment. You see everybody running to rescue it? You see, brother? Is everybody running for rescue right there? Who you gonna favor? From where they running from? No, man. Anyhow, I was listening carefully to this program, and I agree with what you said about concerning the youth reading more. You there?
Mm-hmm, I'm here.
Good. But I believe there is a suicide note you issue in there for the youth.
Oh, Lordy.
Youth. Because when you know, I just get radical over things, and when you tell some youth, we don't want to pick up a book, he goes, read that sisters, what we've done, what we've done, where everything else behind it. You know, you get a complete alphabet. And we need a time now where we there, you know. People say that, oh, we don't know where the time going. The brother is going back to the maker. Right back to the maker. And, you know, I was a fortunate child, but I'm not the person who gave up easily at nothing. You know? And
You're a
that's
warrior.
very important for learning. Then that is good for the proof and learning that the man of God will be edified and everything. You get it in Timothy. And it said, and we got an issue here in this country, and not only the country, you got enough of them. You got this brother Chino come out there now and blasting. Enough of these women will see jumping up to Bible tell them they must not. They should not. Don't. And this is what they're doing. So we got a spiritual corruption also in the midst of it. You know? But, you know, I don't know, but I do hope that one day we should wake up and say, well, look, enough is